I'm sorry. It's a bore simulator. Then yes. The first random fact is the name of Emperor Charlemagne was just Charles the Great, written in Old French and run together as a single word.
Thank God I caught that before we continued. My mic was off.
Okay.
Yeah, but it should be good. Jokes about Vor. Ha 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 ha.
Are we filming?
Yeah, we're filming still.
Okay. The name of the Emperor Charlemagne is just Charles the Great, written in Old French, run together as a single word.
Ooh.
Arkham Asylum is based off of asylums taken and made in H.P. Lovecraft works. As described in H.P. Lovecraft works.
Like, Arkham Asylum, like, from Batman, right?
Yeah.
Just a friendly reminder that Batman is not... You all forget your Batman roots. Batman is just not is not just a playboy. He's a philanthropist.
Yep. And he has a chronic addiction to adopting orphans.
I thought you said he has a crack addiction for a second, and I was very confused.
Pretty sure he does at some point in the comics.
I mean, being addicted to morphine, probably, because, how many times has he gotten his back broken by Bane?
At least twice.
If Pac-Man, if Bruce Wayne doesn't have some sort of addiction to opioids at some point, is it really Batman?
Spain didn't become a democracy until the mid-1970s.
Interesting.
Antarctica used to be a rainforest.
Oh yeah,
in the Mesozoic era.
So, what's the word I'm looking for? So portions of the ocean used to be the world used to be flip-flopped, right? Like, the ocean used to be forest and the forest used to be ocean, right?
No.
No? Mega forests, right? Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah, during the Carboniferous, but there was still ocean.
Okay, I was misinformed. Thank you, Tumblr.
Now it is true that parts of the ocean are now land.
Mm-hmm.
And parts that used to be exposed land are now under the ocean. But it's not like there was never a point in time where the continents were the Atlantic, the Pacific, the Indian, and the oceans were like Africa and Eurasia. Now that never happened.
Right, okay.
Zion Clark is the Guinness World Record holder for being the fastest man on two hands. He was born without legs because of a genetic condition. He is a wrestler and hoped to compete in the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics, but narrowly missed out. The Lord Lyndhurst Act in 1835 prohibited marriage to your dead sister's wife. This was repealed by the Deceased Wife-Sisters Marriage Act of 1907.
That's weird.
Yeah. The Gore-Tex is used in surgeries ranging from vascular grafts to synthetic knee ligaments. Also known as Teflon, this material is arranged in a mesh and allows human tissues to grow through it. The rate of rejection is extremely small due to the material being inert in the body.
Fascinating.
The elephant mosquito, which is a mosquito that is 4 times larger than the common mosquito, feeds on mosquito larvae.
So a mosquito that eats mosquito larvae?
Mosquito that eats mosquitoes, yeah.
I've talked about, like, okay, so, yes, mosquitoes are annoying. Yes, malaria is super bad. No, we shouldn't we shouldn't unleash a strand of mosquito that's infertile into the world and see what, like, you know
Like
what
it's
I'm
going to
saying?
cure malaria.
Yeah, make a mosquito that's resistant to malaria. That's a
No!
better choice.
Oh, wait. Yeah, sorry. I thought you were like, oh, let's make something that's. Yeah, never mind.
No, I
That's not
understand how
good.
biomes work, Chris.
No, I thought you were saying, like, let's make malaria that's resistant to, like, antibiotics. And I was like, what the fuck now?
No, what?
I thought that's what you said for a second. While serving in World War II, Mel Brooks was assembling a bridge one night when he heard German soldiers singing badly in the distance. He sang back the correct lyrics, and when he was finished, he thought he heard applause.
Mel Brooks. Isn't he crazy?
He's dead. The baseball manager Connie Mack was the longest serving manager in Major League Baseball history. It holds records for wins with 3,731, losses with 3,948. And he also had a code of conduct for all his players that include not judging people based on race or religion.
Good for him.
The largest surrender in America Bennett Place, North Carolina, where Union General Sherman and Confederate General Johnson simply disobeyed his. Much of our understanding of early language development, whose pseudonym name was Jeannie, which is a so-called feral child who was kept in near complete silence by her abusive father, developing no language before release at the age of 13. Here's a very unethical experiment. If you took a bunch of children and you put them on an island, and like this is when they're like infants, and you give them caretakers, but all the caretakers are mute, like completely mute. And then you never teach them spoken or written language, and you see what language do they develop.
That's interesting. That's a
very unethical, but yeah.
When has science ever been ethical? Let's be honest.
Nah.
What was I about to say? Yeah, that would be. What's the name of that one movie? It's like I don't know. It's basically about like this girl that lives in the forest, and what's the word I'm looking for? She doesn't know how to speak English, air quote. She knows how to speak a modified version of it based on what was it called? Nell, yeah. Feral girl in the forest, raised by mom, who had a stroke, and how she spoke English basically like changed because of her mom's stroke.
It's a movie?
Yeah. It's like called Nell, I believe.
Okay. The development cycle for Super Mario 64 was so hard that two programmers retired from developing videos completely because of it.
Yeah, I feel like the jump from 2D to, like, 3D was super hard, you know?
Yeah. I know, like, Donkey Kong 64 is held together with duct tape, string, and the dreams of its developers.
Uh, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is it literally uses almost, like, it has so many reused assets.
Yeah, and like Crash Bandicoot, they thought was gonna melt the PlayStation if you turned it on.
Yeah.
If you played
Banjo
it for
Kaz
like longer than a minute, like longer than an hour, because it like took up so much graphics. But what they didn't realize is the programmers actually factored into that, and literally everything behind Crash disappears the second it's no longer in frame.
Yep.
So if you actually glitch it and turn around, you will see nothing but a black void because they did that to save space. That's also why crates were utilized so frequently instead of like other objects because crates only required because you don't see the bottom icon, they only require 5 pixels.
Yep. Polygons.
Yeah, polygons. So they used crates because it was like a really simple thing. Uh, in Britain and many places around Europe, beers are produced using isinglass, which is dried fish swim bladders, as a method of clarification, and therefore beer is not vegan or
Ew.
vegetarian.
It's pescatarian.
Yeah,
The one where you can eat fish.
like the one that every time someone says they're vegetarian eats fish, I'm like, no, you're not. You're yeah.
Yeah.
Officially licensed D Clown video game was released for PC in 1993. Computer Gaming World ranked it as the 5th worst computer game ever released.
What game was this?
Homie D Clown.
I'm very afraid. What was Homie D Clown about?
Homie D Clown. Let's go down this rabbit hole 1 second. It's loading. Homie D Clown was a 1983 video game published by Capstone Software and developed by Synergistic Software for the DOS. It was based off of Homie D Clown from the TV show In Living Color.
That sounds familiar.
In Living Color was an American sketch comedy television on Fox from April 15th, 1990 to May 19th, 1994. Okay. Anyway, let's go back to Homie D Clown.
Oh, it's like if you basically took a character from SNL and gave it a game series.
Yeah. Homie D Clown, as played by Damon Wayans, is an ex-con who works as a clown for his parole agreement, but lashes out anyone, usually hitting them on the head with a weighted sock, who attempts to make him perform the standard antics of the role. His catchline is, "I don't think so, homie, don't play like that." His goal in life is to get even with the man, personification of the white male establishment who are holding him down. Near the end of most sketches, homie would lead a group of children in a call response sing along, which would end with him generating into a rant, then intimidating the children to repeat after him. He was the most popular character in the show's history.
What the fuck? That's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. Anyway, are you still baptized? More news at 11.
Yeah, because the Catholic Church is pedantic to the point of their own detriment, and now a bunch of people are considered baptized.
Yeah, I heard the story from, like, a priest in Phoenix. apparently, so, as we were saying, the wording for a baptism is supposed to have the word I in it instead of we, but it was printed with a we, and it's, as Arietti has so eloquently put it, yeah, a bunch of baptisms have probably been invalidated, and the church just won't, take it back because, fuck people, I guess.
Yeah.
Zero, this is why you're the fact person, because I can never, hold a cohesive thought.
Having nostalgia for a time you've never known is called anemia.
I'm sorry, Anemaway? Now, tell me.
Historical linguist Max Muller had several theories about the origins of the language. His hypotheses include the bow wow, po-po, ding-dong, and yee-hee-hoo theories.
What the fuck?
The 1996 action movie The Rock, starring Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery, is the only Michael Bay-directed film to be considered fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, you know what Pearl and Marina say from Splatoon 2. Stay fresh. Like Subway.
English football team Derby County Stadium was called the baseball ground from 1889 to 2003. It was originally built for baseball, which had a brief vague in England in the 1890s, but the last baseball game played there was in 1898.
Huh.
There's a thing called marriage by proxy, wherein couples can be present while the other is represented by a stand-in. In one state, Montana, a double proxy is possible where neither party is present at the wedding.
Huh.
Smoke detectors in Russia use weapons-grade plutonium-239 as for their source.
No.
Jim Brown at Syracuse University was named All-American Lacrosse in 1957, after which no other black player was voted All-American for 23 years.
Whoa.
U.S. railroads adopted the standard time system on the day of two noons, November 18th, 1883. The University of Pittsburgh's observatory telegraphed railroads at the exact moment of high noon under the 90th meridian line to synchronize their clocks, dissolving the 100-plus time zones that were previously used.
I advocate for the abolishment of all time zones, and we all just live in one time period. Right now, it's noon. Everybody lives in noon right now.
Zachary Taylor, who was the 12th president of the United States, never voted in an election.
Huh.
The dolls at Disney's It's a Small World rides get their haircut once a year, as the yarn used for their hair absorbs moisture and lengthens over time.
I think that's mildew.
In 546 BCE, Argos and Sparta had an all-star battle of the 300 champions where both sides picked their best hoplites and agreed to fight to the death. The two surviving Argives thought they had won and left, leaving behind a single injured Spartan on the field. He claimed victory.
Huh. At some point it devolved into an orgy.
Meticulous records were kept in the Joseon dynasty of Korea. from 1392 to 1865. One example of the contents was the King Tejong fell from a horse and immediately told those around him to not let the recorders know about it. Both his fall and the subsequent command were recorded.
Oh my god.
Rolls-Royce was going to name their models the Silver Mist until someone pointed out that is the German word for manure.
Silva Mist.
The X-linked dystonia Parkinson is an adult-onset genetic movement disorder which affects individuals who descend from the Philippine island of Panay. It is a neurodegenerative disease that evolves over the course of many years, resulting in a shortened lifespan. There was such a thing as anti-tank dogs. During World War II, Soviets trained dogs to run over German tanks with explosives on them so they would then blow up.
But weren't there some cases where the dogs were so excited when they saw a tank they would run over and drop the explosives even on like their own tanks?
Maybe. This has been Random Fact Friday because I'm pretty sure it's 30 minutes.
We're at 21 minutes either way. Bye everyone.
Bye.